Hello, beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight is. Woo! So yes, Starlight is out here, and Starlight is reaching out to all of you and saying hello, and thank you to all of you who have been here, loving and supporting Starlight, giving me thumbs up, or liking my videos, or even sending me a message, or even sharing my videos. Thank you for all of you who have been here loving and supporting Starlight. And also, if any of you would like to send any love donations, you can through my Cash App, and I will have that information here. Ping! There you go. And also, before you watch this video, hello, my name is Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and you could find me on YouTube, and that is at Starlight, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman. Plus, you could give my videos a thumbs up, and you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, don't forget the notification bell, and you can leave me a message down below, beep, 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 and you can share my videos with your family or friends. Plus, don't forget my playlist, and you can also find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman Starlight. So now, hello everyone. So today it's Cooking 101. It's too funny. So anyway, I love you so much. So today Starlight hasn't done a cooking video, and I will have more of these because I got some yummy recipes that are super good. Some of these are my mom's recipes that I grew up as, when I was growing up, and they were really good. So this is what I'm doing today, and this is a simple recipe here. It's fried cabbage. So this is really good. It sounds kind of funky, but if you like cabbage, or you might not like cabbage, and you might end up liking this meal, because you might not like raw cabbage or cooked cabbage, but this is fried cabbage, so you might like fried cabbage. So now this is this is a small little head of cabbage, and it doesn't really matter measuring. It's depending on you want to try it out. So I'm gonna pretty much do this whole thing here because I need to use this up so it doesn't get bad. And fried is really good because this will just, it won't look like a lot when I get, I don't really know what it's going to look like when I get done. So because Starlight doesn't have a shredding machine, as Starlight is going to show you, like if you do have a machine that you could shred up cabbage, of course you're going to want to do those, and like depending on your machine. I used to have those machines. You always want to cut the core part off, throw it in the bushes. So that way you just want to have your cabbage looking good, and with your machine, of course. And I'm going to do this with this because I want like small shredded pieces, just like if I was going to shred it. And boy, believe me, I need a knife. I do have a knife, but I like these smaller knives like this. But if you're like Starlight, where you don't have a machine that you could just, and just shred it that way, is that you're going to want to kind of bring it into smaller sizes. So then you're going to kind of shred it by hand like Starlight is, and it's really easy. Is you're just gonna really just slice it really thin like this, and I'm gonna actually, I had to think of how I did this yesterday or the day before. So you're gonna kind of like something that thin, lay it there. And just keep your fingers away from the knife so you don't chop your fingers off. And make sure you have a cutting board. You don't want to do this on your counters. So some animal will come along and eat that. I throw food all over on the ground, except for, you know, at least in the bushes, you know, because some animal is going to come through and find it. I don't throw orange peelings and lemon peelings on the ground because they don't really, you know, I've seen people do that many times. So let me see. I'm just trying to see how the best way to do this is. You're just going to want them really thin sliced, kind of go against the grain, like Starlight goes against the grain a lot. So that's what you're going to kind of want to do, and it kind of goes the opposite the way the cabbage grows different. It kind of has its own, you know, it starts out small and it just kind of gets bigger and bigger. Ooh, I don't mind Starlight is that I've been out in nature all morning here today, and sometimes I feel like bugs are on me. And sometimes I feel like bugs are on me, and guess what? They are. So it's just or sometimes it's my own hair tickling Starlight. So you just want this really small like this, because you're gonna fry it later. Ooh, see, there is a spider on me. There's a spider that came beside her. So you're just gonna keep on doing that until it's all shredded up really nice and fine, because that is what you want. And so Starlight is going to sit here and have her this is not an electric shredder, so this is a handmade shredder here. Is Starlight's doing this with her own hands and knife. And it might take a while for you to figure out what way is the best way, but you just really want it thin, and you might just want to play around with it and see, hey, does this work better this way? And once you figure it out, you know, because you kind of want them a little bit long, little thin slices, like when you shred it. And that's why I figured the best thing to do with this is to cook this cabbage. And if it's your first time, you know, trying this recipe, which I already know I'm gonna love it because I already I just did this a couple days ago, is, you know, do what you think as far as how much, you know, you want. You just want to make sure you have enough that it's worth your time of don't want it. You want to make enough so it's not wasting your time by just doing a little, like a cup. You want to do more than a cup, you know, because what if you really like it and you're like, oh, I wish I had more than a cup right now of this, because man, it tastes so good. So I would suggest, you know, like a couple cups or 3 cups of this, you know, and you can just guess. You don't have, it doesn't have to really have any measurement on there, because it's only, sorry, I'm just making sure there's nothing crawling up my pants, shorts. So I'm gonna stop right here right now, because I'm gonna sit here and do this for a while, and I will be back. Hello, boy, that was quick. So I realized because my pan is yay small, and so I don't need to chop all that up right away. And that way, even if I wanted to, believe me, that this is only about less than, it's about half of what I had when I started off here. So anyway, I am back, and so Starlight is gonna get her pan ready. And I don't have my measuring spoon, so Starlight is gonna guess, because I don't want to leave this here and run to my car right now. And so I'm gonna turn this baby, oops, I gotta actually lock this in place, get the stove ready. So I am so grateful to the universe for blessing me with this stove and all this stuff that I have here. You know, I am so grateful for the pepper, you know, and salt. A lot of times we take all this stuff for granted, But I'll tell you what, I am so grateful for this stove, and thank you God for the stove, so I'm able to cook, and because I love to cook. So anyway, now Starlight has some butter here. You don't have to use butter. If you want to use the oil, you can use the oil. But Starlight has butter because I use it for different things, and this is, it says Earth Balance, but it says vegan. So I don't know. I'm just saying, and this is, of course, in my car. It's not going to be hard butter, and that's why I get it in a container like this. So Starlight is going to tell you about how much I'm putting in here. So it's about a tablespoon of butter. So you're going to have to kind of, if you're going to do oil, you could do about the same measurement as like that right there. So Starlight is going to mix this around. That way the butter gets all over. I'll be right back. So Starlight is going to put her cabbage back in her bag so I can just throw this cabbage in the pan, because I want to keep everything good out here with bugs and all that stuff. So this is melting away in the pan, and whoo, there's a bug. I don't know what it wants here. So it smells something. So Starlight is gonna, it's kind of funny because the wind wasn't blowing until now. Okay, so gotta kind of, I'm gonna turn that off because when it's windy, it's not gonna really, it's gonna waste a lot of the butane if it's windy. So now we're gonna give it a shot again here. Alrighty. Okay, so I'm going to show you, this is probably about a couple cups of shredded cabbage here, and it's white cabbage. So it's going to take a while, and so Starlight is going to, this is sea salt. So Starlight is going to put some salt on there, and you could just, you know, you don't want to overdo it with the salt or the pepper. But this is, it does take a while for this stuff to cook, and depending on the wind here, that is really the factor in the situation as far as cooking this goes. So it does take time. So let's see, I have this on medium heat, and that is good to actually have that on, is medium heat to start off with and to get it going. And you just want to move it around a little bit. Just want to make sure that butter is down on the bottom. So Starlight is gonna cook this for a while, and I will be back. You want to kind of let it sit for a while, let it cook, and then when it starts making a lot of noise and stuff, kind of move it around. You're gonna just kind of, like right now I can hear the butter. You want to kind of flip that around. And when you do this, a lot of the butter is going to get on the other side of all this, the cabbage, which is great. So you don't really want it to stick, but in a way it doesn't matter in this recipe, because it's going to kind of have like a burnt look to it when you get done with it, and that is where the flavor is going to be when it starts getting a little crispy like that. And that is when you're gonna be like, wow, this is really good. And you could be, you know, try to figure out what you want to use it for. I'm sorry, I'm like, sometimes there's little bugs or cobwebs or something out here. So Starlight will be back, and you just want to keep an eye on this stuff, because it won't be long that it will start frying. Hello, Starlight is back with her fried rice, and so I just want to let you know what it looks like right here. And it's really hard in my situation because of the wind. So it will, because it does have a tendency to change the time around as far as how long it's taken me to do this. So right now I'm just showing you really quick of what that looks like. It's like partially fried right now, so you're going to want to keep on cooking it even longer than this to get the flavor that I'm talking about. So if your cabbage looks like this, you want to keep on frying it. You might even want to turn the temperature down in the house, because out here I'm dealing with the wind, so I got to kind of keep the temperature, the flame, the same medium flame. But at the house, this is when you want to kind of turn it down and let it cook a little bit longer, but keep an eye onto it so that way you don't overdo it with getting it too burnt, because it's going to look a little burnt when you get done with it, and that's okay on this particular meal. So I will be back. Alrighty, so whoops, sorry, Starlight's got to babysit her food over here. I got other food. Okay, so Starlight is back, and I didn't mention this when I started this, is like with the butter, it depends on how much cabbage, shredded cabbage that you cut up or shredded up, depends on how much butter you want to use. So you don't want to overuse too much butter, but right now when it's starting to really fry, whoopsie, I gotta turn this off because the wind will use the wind. If it's too windy out here, it will use up one of these putains in just one meal, and I don't want to do that because I want to make my putain last. So right now it's kind of breezy. Near the end, when you're cooking this, Starlight's going to turn her stove back on. Yep, so it's back on. So when you get down to the end, when it start getting fried, you might have to add a little bit of more oil and a little bit more butter, depending on what you're using. And like I said, like it really, shrivels down. It's like almost half the amount that it was when I started, so that's why you want to kind of be mindful in how much you use. So what was like about 2 cups is about 1 cup now. So Starlight is getting this done. I'm gonna actually turn it up a little bit more to kind of, because of the wind out here, when it comes and goes, that way I want to get this finished. And once you hear it on the pan frying, like I said, you might have to, like I have right now, I need to, when it starts sticking to the pan, you don't really want that, so you just want to add just a little bit more butter or oil to that. So Starlight is going to taste it now as it's still cooking. Of course, I'm not going to bite onto that baby yet. Since the wind is kind of picking up, I'm going to turn that off and save on that. But Starlight is going to sample this right now. When it cools off a little bit, you definitely want to have this cool off. You don't want to stick this baby in your mouth. So, ooh, there goes that pepper. Alrighty. So this is perfect, just the way it is. So it's got just a little, just that brownness. But even if you fry it a little even more, it still will taste great. And I'm not sure if I want to do my mother's recipe. This is one of my mother's recipes, is frying cabbage, and it tastes amazing. Like onions would have tasted great in here, thrown in here, because it would have gave a onion taste in there. So anyway, this is just fried cabbage and it tastes delicious, and I really hope you enjoy this recipe. And I'm not sure if I want to make the other, I'm trying to think if I can do the other recipe. I'm trying to think how my mother did that. But there is another recipe. I might make that after this. So anyway, if I do, it will be a part 2 connected to this video here. Thank you so much for joining me on a new recipe. You might have never had fried cabbage, but thank you for being here and being patient with me with the wind here today. Alrighty, love you. Thank you for watching. This is Starlight. Namaste. This is Starlight. Love, light, and peace.